Welcome to another Acoustic Alternatives. I'm John Bomarito, broadcasting from Grove Studios, my home since this whole thing has started. It's been a lot of fun. And back then, I didn't have anybody supporting me in the ways that I do now, but I want to thank David Palmer, who's been the first to jump on board as a sponsor. dcpalmer.com to find out more about what David is doing. He's a real estate, an associate broker, realtor, serving clients in the city of Detroit and throughout the region. And I'm going to talk more about him in the middle of today's podcast. But I've been wanting to get somebody on this podcast for a while, and just so happens she was coming to this part of the world to do some recording with a new album that's coming out in the fall. And it is my pleasure to welcome to Acoustic Alternatives, Rin Tarsy. Rin.
Hello.
Hello.
It's so good to be here. Thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure. I've missed seeing your face and hearing your voice, and you just haven't been part of this side of the state's scene in a while. So
right.
My memory of seeing you exists in two forms. The show at the Arc, which was incredible. We'll get to that a little bit later. And then you did the Valentine's Day show too, with Chris and Kylie, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was a great show too. So there's like there's some reasons that I've been wanting to have you on, other than the fact that I love your songs and your voice. So why don't we start with one of the songs before we dig into you as a person and as a musician?
Awesome.
And all the things. What would you like to start with?
I'm going to play a song called 94. It's actually, I just released this as a single about 2 weeks ago. And so this is on my new album coming out.
What's the story behind it?
I was driving, as many people do, I'm sure, along 94, back and forth. I've heard
of that freeway, yes. It seems familiar.
And I was driving to a job that a music job that I liked, but it wasn't what I, was really wanting to do with myself and my heart. And so I just found myself like reflecting on where I was in life and where I thought I would be and where I wanted to be. And, kind of like being frustrated, but also like wanting to work through it and get somewhere else. So
you took 94 to get there.
I did.
All right. Rin Tarsy on Acoustic Alternatives.
I've kept up with this stretch in 94 better than I've kept up with my college friends. I know every tree and landmark and the woman on the billboard with her perfect hair and perfect skin. Is this what I imagined that my life would be like at 29? Every day I breathe a mantra, but the loudest words I hear are I'm behind. Behind the ones with vision and behind the ones with children, what happened to my ambition? Behind the ones with purpose, I keep digging for my purpose. I don't know, I'm so nervous. And I keep on driving down this stretch in 94. And I keep on digging, hoping I'll find more. Can't recall a time when I felt quite as lost as I feel right now. I know how to force a smile, I know how to make it seem like I have no doubts. I've seen the sky from many different countries, all I feel is I'm behind. My dreams have crashed behind me, I can hardly keep up with my mind. Oh, and I'm behind. Behind the ones with houses and behind the ones whose baby is their business. Behind the ones who've made friends with routine, their morning coffee and their 9 to 5 in the office. But is that what I want? Oh, is that what I want? My prayer was once Hail Mary, I knew Jesus died to save me. Now it's Father, what does this all mean? And who am I and who are you? is driving down the stretch of 94.
Nice. We're in Tarsy on Acoustic Alternatives. 94 is the name of the song from a forthcoming record, which we'll get into as we get a little further into this endeavor. And it might be the first time a train has come through while we're recording.
Oh, no, did it?
I could kind of hear one in the background. I don't know that it came through in the microphones, but...
I kind of feel like that is fitting for the song.
It is a little bit, actually. And I don't think any state troopers watched this. Were you writing that like while you were driving?
I got my pen and paper out right in front of me.
I mean, you can always do the phone thing. Hey,
yeah,
Siri,
no, I was, kind of, I think I might have been just in my head. I was probably voice memoing it as I was going.
Did you write it in call it one sitting, or did it come over the course of several days?
No, this one was over the course of several days. I remember finishing it in my bedroom. And just kind of, but it was a pretty easy flowing one. It wasn't like one where I was like trying to hunt down the words. It was kind of coming.
It has a lot of feels. It has a
Thank you.
Very honest feel to it.
Yeah,
it's nice. Well, let's back up way farther than your newest single to before you were even Rin, when you were going by Catherine. You were a young child,
yes.
And at some point you thought, I want to play instruments and sing for people. Tell me about that journey. Tell me about where your musical love started.
Let's see. So I loved music as long as I can remember. Like I don't remember there being a time where I wasn't, thinking that I wanted to be a singer when I grew up. But I did, Do You Hear What I Hear was my very first solo in the Christmas choir in like third grade or something. And then when I was in 8th grade, my sister and I were just singing in the kitchen. And that was the first time that my siblings were like, hey,
that's different.
And so my brother was like, we should get you to sing the national anthem at the girls basketball game, because at my tiny Catholic school, girls basketball was like the big thing. And so I was like way too freaked out. And then they were like, well, how about we record it on a tape, like an actual tape, because that's back when we were actually playing cassettes for stuff. And so I was like, okay, fine, I'll sing it to a tape, and then we can use that. And so my sister Tarsy was like, well, I'm gonna take it to the athletic director. And so she took it to him, and then the next day she came home and she was like, hey, Catherine, you're singing at the girls basketball game tonight. And I was like, it was supposed to be the tape. So, but I have both of them to thank for that, because then the very first time I step up to that microphone, it just felt like magic. And that was the first time that I remember like really falling in love with it.
I hear in your voice not what I would expect based on how old I think you are. And I don't really know how old you are, but I know you're not old enough to have been like Joni Mitchell, Judy Collins, like early 70s female folk. But I hear that in your voice, so I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah,
just a little bit. I mean, it's not. It's more 70s than 90s. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you mean like in my singing?
The way you sing, yes.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I really.
That is a compliment, because that's kind of where the whole genre that you're in started.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely admire those singers a lot, and their honesty and their songwriting.
Who was it that influenced you?
Mariah Carey was actually my very first.
Amazing.
Yes. Yeah. I'm reading her biography right now, and it's incredible.
It's a biography.
Yeah. She just put out a memoir.
I have to find the version if she reads it. I always like when the artists themselves read it to me.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed several of them that way. Elvis Costello's was really nice that way.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen's was a little slow, but I got into it eventually. Like, okay, this is good. Phil Collins was really cool reading his. I tried the one with Chrissy Hynde of the Pretenders, but it was read by Patricia Arquette.
Oh.
Thumbs down. Give me Chrissy reading that, because it just didn't sound right coming out of Patricia Arquette's mouth. Anyway, so I'll have to check out. Thanks.
I did. My friend did tell me that Mariah, there's a version of her reading it, so you'll be able to find it.
I'm waiting for the Brandi Carlile book, which I bought the book for, to come out in her audio version.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear Brandi tell me the stories.
Yeah.
I could read it. I'm fully capable. But anyway. Yeah, Mariah, I don't hear Mariah, because you're not going,
oh yeah,
like these notes that I can't even emulate.
No, not at all. I mean, like I tried to sing like her for forever, and then finally one day I was like, you know what, I think I have a different genre in me, but she was my inspiration.
She's pretty great. Would I have found you on stage in your high school musicals?
Yes.
What kind of roles were you doing? Like major, like were you the lead, or were you support? What?
I was usually, so my high school actually didn't have, well, it had a little bit of a theater program, but I actually like fell in love with the performing arts in a summer theater program that Portland put on. And so I was in that from fourth grade up until I graduated. And that was like, that totally made me fall in love with the stage. And I played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Actually, my first big role was Bilbo in The Hobbit.
Oh, wow.
So that wasn't a musical, but yeah, I loved straight plays. I love musicals, and I played Susan in The Chronicles of Narnia. Yeah, played lots of different roles, and a few in college too.
Did you grow up on the west side of the state? Or you said Portland. That could have been Oregon for all I know.
Yeah, Portland, Michigan.
Okay.
Over by Lansing.
Thank you. Wait a minute, Portland, Maine too, isn't there?
I always let people think I'm from the big city for a minute.
Yeah, no, small town girl. Would your high school friends have seen you, like, would they know that this was your path if I'd met them then?
I don't think that they would be surprised.
What do you think Rin's going to be when she grows up? Oh, I don't know, a nurse.
It could actually, that was what I was planning on.
Really?
It was always either a nurse or a singer. So
you're a very caring individual. Like, no, seriously. I mean, I get that from knowing you, not super well, but well enough to feel the personality that comes through from you. So that was just a stab in the dark. That was apparently a really good guess. But musician is on the list at some point, obviously, because here you are playing guitar. Do you make a living doing this? Is this your primary source of income?
I've always supplemented with something else too. So I've done plenty of odd jobs over the course of the years. But music I'm like wanting this to be my primary source of income. It's not quite yet, but.
Guitar first or piano? Which one did you learn first?
Piano.
You have to think about that?
I do, because
Simultaneously? You could have been learning them at the same time for all I know.
Yeah, no, I went further in guitar, but I remember taking piano lessons when I was like in elementary school.
Oh, okay. It was sort of back there.
Yeah.
But then when did you start writing songs? Were they on guitar or piano or both at the same time?
On guitar. And I think the first song I ever wrote, well.
You probably don't share with people anymore.
No, but the first song that I wrote that I shared with people was when I was a senior in high school.
Okay. I'm sure. I'm going to guess because the stuff that I was writing poetically, because I don't play music, was all sad, broken hearted, or I love you. Like it was relationship stuff, right? What else do you write about in high school?
Yeah, I know. Mine was like wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and it was here we go. Life is good. Let's go get it.
Oh, that one probably should have survived the cut. Maybe you should play that one.
Yeah.
So when did songwriting enter the picture? That senior year was the first time you started writing songs?
Yeah. And I think that I kind of thought about it for a while. Like I knew it was inside me for a long time, but it really started becoming more of like the middle of college is when I started writing songs that I now share. And like middle toward the end of college was actually when I really started being more public and kind of more like committed to being a songwriter and just like needing to get whatever is going on in here out through that way.
You're a little less shy about it now, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we have a new album coming out. August 14th is the scheduled date. We made a face. Paradox is the name of the album. Would you like to try another song and tell me a story about whatever you have next?
Yeah. So the next one I'm going to play is called Free. And I wrote this. I started writing this song while I was painting a garage for my friend when I got back from a trip to Africa. And I was on a mission trip over there, and I really thought that I was going to be like spending the rest of my life over there.
Wow.
And I got back, and I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And turns out this song is really just about something that a bunch of people struggle with, the big A-word anxiety.
Or what do I be when I grow up?
Yeah,
that one?
that too. But yeah, so this is called Free. Oh gosh, that's gonna be not fun for anybody to hear. I see everything I want, and I want everything I see. I've got plans and I've got wishes, I see possibilities. I just look for someone else to take the lead. I'm a flighty bird that cannot find the perfect nesting tree. I'm a prisoner to pleasing every person close to me. Have I become a whore for other people's needs? When the shadows in the night become my only source of light, don't want to run from my own life. Not gonna let this devil take away my life. I'm romanced by the forest, but seduced by every tree. I crave discipline, but impulse makes a puppet out of me. Dr. Tom tells me one day I'll be free. I'm afraid to show the colors I don't think you want to see. They say comparison steals joy. I rob myself repeatedly, never finding what I want to find in me. Sometimes I lie awake at night, thinking up alternate lives of all the dreams that I have yet to try. Not gonna let this devil take away my life. No, I won't let this devil take away my life. I've become quite skilled at building walls to keep love safe inside. But one thing I have learned is that when love is safe, it dies. 27 years of life, you think I'd finally get it right. But the truth is, it's a constant fight. And so I lie awake at night with an overactive mind, like those Keebler elves working overtime. And if I'm lucky, well, sometimes I can reason enough to find that the darkness comes, but then comes light. So dark or light may it be, I am free. Not gonna let this devil take over me.
Cool new song from Tarsy from her forthcoming record. It's called Free on Acoustic Alternatives. And I don't know why, but when you sang about the Keebler elves, I pictured the little trademark and wondered if they're going to like come after you. If you're like, if you print the lyrics on some website, like, is that a trademark? It probably is. Like, do you need to worry about that when it's in a lyric? I don't know why that came to mind. I'm so sorry to fill you with anxiety.
Oh no. I've definitely worried about that before, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll find out.
You will find out. You're going to get some more attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Musician suit for saying Keebler elves in a song. Come on.
Without asking for permission.
Let it go, Keebler. You don't need the money. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to take another minute to thank my sponsor because, I mean, without him, literally, I can't do this anymore because, well, you know, things cost money. So he's been supporting my radio career just by like listening and congratulating me on having who and just being supportive as a friend. David is a great person. dcpalmer.com is the website. Write that down. He's an associate broker realtor serving clients in the city of Detroit and throughout the region. And if you're a first-time home buyer, those selling a home or recovering from this experience sometimes, this is something he can help you with. If you're a first-time home buyer, he's good at that. If you're recovering from being a first-time home buyer and you're buying your second home because you had a bad experience, he's the guy for that as well. You can read testimonials that people have put up on his website, dcpalmer.com. You'll get a better idea. If you're doing estate sales and downsizing, this is another thing he's really good at. At my age, I'm looking at my aging father and knowing at some point, not going to be around. That's not to be grim, but this is going to be the case for all of us. We're all going to lose our parents. The struggle of the passing of a loved one is a real thing. And what do you do with a lifetime of stuff? Well, David handles that too. He's really good at handling that kind of stuff. So he's your solution for many things. He'll walk you through the steps with your permission, help guide you and manage those third parties whose services you might need. I've known him for years. He's a really great human being. He's got a vast knowledge of music. I would love talking music with David as well, but obviously he needs to know his job, and he does that very well. He cares about the Detroit region. He's had a positive social impact around here, and I think you're going to enjoy meeting him. So dcpalmer.com, and he's affiliated with Realty Experts LLC, 1420 Washington, number 301, Detroit, Michigan, 48226. If you want to call him, 313-759-9558. Thank you, David. We'll give you another shout out at the end. So thanks for playing that new song. I love that. You had a debut album back in 2018 called East. You might have a copy in the car if I'm lucky, and I can give you some money for that. But then you put that out in, were you here when you put that out? You were in,
I was,
yeah. So you were in the Ypsilanti area.
Yep.
Then you moved back to Grand Rapids. Why the back and forth? What brought you here, for one thing?
I actually moved here for a worship leader position for a ministry called Be Love Revolution, and then moving out here, I that was actually how I met Chris DuPont, who produced East, and he's producing my album Paradox coming up. But I've always I spent a couple years out in Ann Arbor, and I like it out here, but I think I've always just considered Grand Rapids home. And so there just came a point where I was like kind of missing it. And so I thought, I think it's time to move back. So, and then of course COVID hit. So and I'm like, well, this isn't what Grand Rapids was like last time I was here.
No, it's a little duller. But the good thing is though, when you moved here for 2 years, you made some connections.
Yes.
Including myself.
Yes.
But you connected with a whole nother music scene.
Absolutely.
So technically it was a good thing to do because you've got yourself plugged in two different spots.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it's been so great to work with Chris and to play with him, and then to meet you, and to, get an opportunity to play at the Arc, and just meet a lot of really wonderful musicians in the folk scene that I'm so grateful to still be connected with.
It's a good thing. I saw an article you did right around the time of that ARC show where you answer a question that, a lot of people ask. And I'm noting it because, well, I mean, you and I we always like talking just like as friends, right?
Yeah.
But I looked at the artists that you listen to, and I went, she's like my best friend. Lake Street Dive, Ingrid Michaelson, Sarah Bareilles, Steel Wheels, Brandy Carlisle, Amos Lee, Ed Sheeran. Like, these are artists I love. Like, you and I have very similar, we should be hanging out more, is I guess what I'm saying. Like,
yes. Actually, fun fact.
Yes.
Jay from the Steel Wheels.
Yeah, he lives
the
in
mandolin. He the song that I just played, Free, he played a mandolin solo on it for the album. So
nice.
That's exciting.
That is great. I'm hoping to maybe get him with his band in some way, shape, or form into this podcast somehow.
Yeah.
And as well as Cold Tone Harvest, who are friends with Jay. So he's a connection that might end up here. So
cool.
That's a good thing. But yeah, I was looking at that going, boy, we should be like best friends.
those are all your
those
faves
are some of
too.
my absolute favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you like Sarah McLachlan. I have a strange feeling. Yeah. I mean, so we could talk about the stuff we like that's the same all day long. But who actually inspires your songwriting?
Currently, May Earlywine is really inspiring my songwriting.
And she's so good at it.
She is. She just, like, her lyrics are incredible, but in addition to that, the way that she like almost creates this like pool for you to sit in, that like the whole song is just like envelops you in, and it's like I find it like impossible to not be changed just by listening to her music, and it's incredible.
Have you been catching the Mondays with May that she's been doing?
I've been seeing some of them, yeah.
Yeah, and you and I have been watching concerts together, just not knowing. Like, sitting in my office thinking, I wish I had a friend with me. I do.
You do.
Ren is there. I just didn't know you were there.
Yeah, we should both make the same snack so we actually feel like we're hanging out.
That'd be fun. I don't think she's doing them anymore, though. Sounds like she announced the essential end of them.
Oh, she
soon.
did?
Yeah, more or less.
Because I just saw the one last week.
The Friends one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Anyway, did you do much of that? Did you do? I know you did a couple of videos, but did you do much performing as streaming shows during the pandemic?
I did. I
saw one, I think.
Quite a few in the beginning. I picked a theme. Like my first one was 90s themed, and then I did like a Motown theme, and I just had fun with it. Like I was like, everybody's cooped up inside. Like let's just make this a blast. So I did those, and then I started doing originals too. So
in your years of performing, do you have like a favorite show of all time that you've done as a performer?
I would have to say it was the Arc.
I was there. I was actually supposed to be hosting Top of the Park in Ann Arbor that night, and I did my stage announcement, but I was supposed to go back. I think I stuck out, but I didn't want to leave. because your band and you were so good.
Oh, thank you.
And that night, like what you proved to me is I've seen a lot of artists in the young phase of their career, and you're still kind of in that beginning phase in a sense.
Much.
They don't have stage presence. You have stage presence.
Thank you.
That's something. That is something that's, you can't buy that.
Yeah.
You have to develop that or just have it. You were naturally entertaining. I was enthralled by your show, and it made me go, okay, she's the real deal. I liked your stuff before that, but that was like the turning point where I went, I'm a Tarsy fan now. Seeing that show, that was great. So, I mean, the solo thing is great, but that band thing was really suited you well. So keep that thing going.
Absolutely.
I encourage that for sure. Do you have any career goals as you're going forward with this new album? Is there I want to take this across the country? I'm satisfied with this being a regional release. What is your thought process going into putting out Paradox in August? You haven't given any thought, apparently.
Some. I actually think with this one, I would really like to be intentional about cultivating a fan base in West Michigan. I mean, I'd like to do some country traveling with it, but I really want to focus on the listening rooms in Michigan and like in the in the area, in the region, just because I think that'll just help me to feel more like I'm like growing as an artist and like feeling supported. You know, it's just seems like a really important thing.
Not too long ago, you got back from a road trip.
Yeah.
Which was was that essentially a busking road trip?
Yeah, it was a busking road trip.
Like you purposely went out just to go busk.
Yes, yeah.
That's cool. How did that go? Tell me a little bit about that.
It was great. It was so my friend Lauren came with me and we drove out to California, and the first like official stop was San Diego, and then we made our way throughout all the southern states and then back up through the Carolinas and Kentucky and Tennessee, and it was I mean, lots of fun cities. It was literally like we just were like, okay, we did some research for each state. The goal that I made at the beginning of this year was to busk in every state in 2021, which it's not really as much my goal to hit every state this year, just because I like found that we were just like flying through them and not really even necessarily able to like enjoy and like explore and stuff as much. So finding like the right town, like it kind of ended up just being like the best towns to busk in for me were like little towns with like big families and like lots of little kids and people strolling around eating their ice cream and like stuff like that. So yeah, but it was every city is very, very different.
What did you do to make sure that they remembered you? Did you have your CD for sale? Did you have business cards? Anything to direct them to your website?
I just always like was announcing it. I like was, talking about Instagram and Facebook and got lots of new followers that way, and then was telling them about Paradox coming out this summer, and just kept on announcing it as I was singing songs and stuff like that.
Grassroots, good way to go.
Oh yeah.
All right, what song did you do on the busking tour that you'd like to do now?
Ooh,
from your new album Paradox, which is due out August 14th ish.
Yes, it is. I actually
I'm not holding you to it. That's why I keep saying.
Please don't. Yeah, the goal is the end of August / maybe early September.
Okay. Well, then I'll stop saying August 14th. This year. We'll say this year.
Yes, that's perfect. This year. I actually didn't do this on the trip.
Oh. Well, bad lead in by me. Sorry.
But that's actually kind of why I'm excited to do it right now, because it's been a little while since I really sang the song. So this is a song called Nervous, and it's about just being vulnerable in relationships. I'm nervous to get to know someone new. I'm nervous that the person could be you. I know I've lived a life decorated with white lies, and I've made myself completely bulletproof. I'm the Tin Man and the Lion, this I know. I find it hard to love the ones I should the most. I'm scared that you'll get caught in the tangle of my thoughts, or in between the iron fists that I hold. I wanna live a masterpiece. I wanna live carefree. I wanna live with somebody who stands up tall and doesn't hide when he bleeds. Well, the hourglass is quickly sifting through, and with every boy I let go, I convince myself I've lost you. But when I lie awake at night with nothing but my mind, I know I wanna live a masterpiece. I wanna live carefree. I wanna live with somebody who's unpolished and unafraid to be seen. When my head is getting older, you'd think my heart would follow suit, but I find it's getting younger. I'm watching as the rabble comes undone. All my bags are packed in case I need to run. I've learned to live my life all alone, I can get by. But I wanna live a masterpiece. I wanna live carefree. I wanna live with somebody who I adore with every pore inside of me. Oh, I wanna live with somebody who's unapologetically in love with me.
That one has a lot of feels.
Yeah.
Careful playing that one out live, because you're going to have some people coming up to you after the show. That's me.
Chris was like, "You really need to cut that last song or that last line from the song."
No, you don't, because it's an honest song.
No, it isn't.
No, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
That will be on the record.
Yeah, I will. I'm really excited for it.
So far, that's my favorite of the three.
Ah, thank you.
Because I felt a lot, and that's what you want, right? I mean, isn't that the purpose of music? Either to make you feel like you want to dance, or you want to just like, oh, I feel something. So well done. High five
you.
across the table.
Thank you. Woo!
So the album is coming out sometime this year.
Yes.
Tell me about the process of putting it together. Did you do this all during the pandemic, like visiting Chris periodically? And
Most of it, yeah.
so this is the best thing to come out of the pandemic, right?
Yeah. I think so. We started last I think about a year ago, probably in like July of 2020, we started. And I just made my way over to Ipsy from Grand Rapids, and we started laying down the tracks. And then just over the course of the year, it's been incredible to see the songs, just slowly take shape and come alive. And like, I think like it's one of the coolest things to learn and to kind of like struggle through and learn how to articulate with words what it is that I'm hearing in my head about how I want this song to sound like. And like that process with Chris and the other musicians that have played on it has been a really just transformative process. So we've done some of the recording out in Grand Rapids, some of it out in Ipsy, did some of it at Solid Sound out in Ann Arbor, and
Willis, is that the city?
No, that one's in like Dixboro.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, yes.
Yep. And actually, tomorrow we're going to be doing some more in Chris's studio in his basement. So
Nice.
got
So
more going on.
You glazed over the other musicians. Who is playing on this record?
So-
besides Jay.
Yes,
from Steel
Jay.
Wheels
And
Chris.
Luke Jackson is playing on a lot of it.
Awesome.
Billy Harrington plays drums on some of it. Christina Furtado is playing cello.
Awesome.
There's a couple people from Grand Rapids who are playing on it.
They have names. Huh? They have names.
Yes! Madison George is playing drums on one or two of the songs. And then Ian Thompson, is it? He plays upright bass on one of the tunes. And I hope I'm not missing anybody. So
There are people in Grand Rapids who listen to this, so.
I know. Oh, gosh. I'm going to be embarrassing myself.
That's okay. No pressure.
But yeah, they... and then I did some recording over at Greg Baxter's studio called Second Story Sound, and he's a wonderful guy. Everybody that I've played with out in Grand Rapids, I'm just like super elated to have them on it, and it's like it's all. I'm very excited that all the musicians have agreed to join me in the collaborative process.
Well, congratulations. It sounds like
you.
it's going to be a great record so far.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there a stage that you've dreamt, besides the Ark, because you've already done that one, that you've dreamt about playing on that maybe you'll achieve as a, well, back to that career goals question, I guess. Is there some place that you'd like, I hope I get to play Eddie's Attic in Decatur, Georgia? Or, I mean, I don't know what, like, where you're thinking as far as, I want to do this.
As far as just like dreaming big and want to do this, I would love to play at Red Rocks.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like, absolutely.
Yeah.
But as far as like what I'm like, looking at in the near future, like, I just really want to play as many listening rooms as I can get my hands on. Like, I'd love to play listening room in Grand Rapids, and hoping to be able to do that. And but I don't really have like certain stages that I'm like craving to play at. I kind of just like take one step at a time. I tend to like freak myself out if I look too far into the future.
Do you have a favorite moment of your career so far that you've, other than the stage playing at the Ark, like something that happened that was just related to you playing music somewhere? Such a vague question. Sorry.
No, I like it. I'm just thinking for a second. Also, the air conditioning unit like turned off right as you finished that question. Just like total silence in here.
Rin, this is your life. Rin Tarsy will reveal a secret now that the air conditioning is shut off.
Oh, actually, I mean, I wouldn't say this is like my favorite moment, but there was one moment when I was busking that I was playing at a farmer's market in Lexington, Kentucky. And it just so happened that like because of copyright laws, I was only allowed to play original music. And I had been doing a lot of covers through, during the busking trip. And so I ended up like for busking, I'm always like, trying to play like energetic songs. So some of my songs are that and some aren't really. And but this
the
time
last one is not.
Yeah, definitely. So I did only play originals that time, and it was actually one of the most like well received times busking, and it kind of just like reminded me that I don't necessarily need to have everybody, like it's nice to have an audience that is already there, but even like when people are milling about, it was just a nice moment to have them really appreciate the original stuff, even as they're just like walking through.
I've enjoyed some of the covers you've posted, but I will take from another experience I had where a friend of mine was doing a show and he did a few covers during the show. But what really stood out were the originals because they were in his own voice. I wasn't spending any time thinking well, he doesn't sound like that person.
Right. Yeah.
I was more thinking about that suits his voice really nicely. And so, I mean, there is, it's fun to do a cover because in a bar, clearly that's what you're going to do if you're doing a bar thing.
Yeah.
Because people aren't really there to see you. But to catch their attention, sometimes just singing in your own voice and not trying to like be Alanis Morissette or whatever.
Yeah.
It almost gets people's attention. Like, what's this? Is this somebody else's song? They might ask you that as you're going along. So.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I hope the plan that you just accidentally threw together by busking around the country and throwing your name out there leads to people looking you up.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to do some sort of a pre-order where there'll be physical versions of this record coming out?
Yeah, definitely. So I haven't officially launched my website yet, but that'll be pre-orders will be available at rentarcy.com, and and I'll be having CDs.
I was at the website, and it does need a little bit more content.
Yes, it does. It very much does.
No, it looks nice, but I'm like, where's the bio?
Yeah,
there's no bio.
I know.
We need a bio, Ren.
It's in the works.
I know. These are things that you have to do when you're putting out a record. Maybe I know some people that could help you. Well, it's always good to see you. I would love to hear another song before I set you free.
Perfect. I'm going to play one of my absolute favorites. This one, I'm very excited for the way that it's sounding on the album. It's called Paw Paw River. As I crossed the Paw Paw River, a troubled mind I had. I never thought that I'd look back, just look ahead. But things don't ever stay the same unless there is no more. So I move across the river and away from every shore. And as I think about that date last night, a puzzled mind I had, it didn't feel right when he took my hand. And I wonder if I've shared too many kisses in my days, and if I'm the only one who's in an angsty 20s phase. 'Cause I don't see the world like I did before. Did the world change, or did I? And I don't know exactly what I'm moving toward, but I'll be damned if I quit moving till I die. And as I think about my faith in God, a troubled mind I had, I couldn't have anticipated where I am. And I wonder if I've sinned too much, or if I've sinned at all. I try to make sense of redemption. What's the truth about the fall? 'Cause I don't recognize the life I knew before. Now I see through different eyes. And I don't have the answers I was certain of before, but I'll be damned if I quit searching till I die. And now I cross the Paw Paw River for the second time. This year is June, last year was July. And I wonder if I've moved ahead or fallen behind. And I pray that God has mercy on my ever-changing mind. Oh, I've been chasing down the girl I was before, hoping one day she'd be mine again. But now I'm letting go, swinging wide the doors, and I'm seeing colors that I never saw before. Now I'm are made to please each other, and the mystery will be the answer when we die.
We're in Tarsy on Acoustic Alternatives, and that is Paw Paw River, and I'm going to declare that the single from the record because that's a single. That's a single. That belongs on the radio, on folk radio, on college radio stations across the country. That is catchy, memorable. Well done.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being part of this.
Absolutely.
I've been wanting to have you on. It's been too long since I've seen you, and I'm glad there was something new coming, so that it was an excuse to get together.
Yeah.
And I hope that the record does well and you get to play in front of actual people,
Thank
not
you.
just online and then things like this. And I hope other people embrace what I'm doing here and go, yeah, I want to have Ren on my show too.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to again thank David Palmer, dcpalmer.com. Again, this would not have happened without David and his support of what I'm doing. If you or someone you know is looking to sell or buy a home, he's your man in the Metro Detroit area. Big music fan and a really great guy to talk to, and he'll help you out for sure. David Palmer, affiliated with Realty Experts LLC, 1420 Washington, number 301, Detroit, Michigan, 48226. And the phone number is 313-759-9558. Equally important to remember, rintarsy.com, RINTASRY, no EY.
TARSY.
What? What did I do wrong?
You said SRY.
Did I?
Yeah.
Dyslexia is a horrible disease. rintarsy.com. And check her out. And hopefully we can get her, if you're a fan of this show on the east side of the state, we'll get her out here to play some shows. If you're a Grand Rapids area fan, you can probably catch her out there doing shows sometime in the near future. Mm-hmm. Farmers markets and what have you. But stages, please.
Yes,
where people are actually paying attention to it. Great to see you.
Great to see you too, John. Thank you so much.
Good luck with the record.
Thank you.
We'll do another acoustic alternative soon. I got an idea who the next guest is, but I'm not going to say. So we'll keep an eye on the website. Subscribe if you can. Thanks to Max and his team for putting this video together as well.